Okay, so once again, I'm filming this book very last minute, and I said book. Did I say book? I think I said book. I meant video. Okay, so this video it's basically my August wrap up, and I I don't know why I'm filming it now. Maybe because I didn't know if I was going to do it because I didn't read like normally I read more than 10 books and there's like a lot to talk about, but this month I only read 8 books and that's a lot actually, and I had exams and a lot of classes, but also it's not a lot for me. Even though I read like 7 books in January, and I was in like I was on vacation, but I don't know why I read so little. Maybe because I read like long books. I don't know, but whatever. I'm gonna talk about the books I read, and if I have a physical copy, you're going to have like one of the books I'm mentioning has a physical copy. You're gonna have to excuse me. I am like extra lazy today, and I don't want to go and get them, so you will get a picture, of course, of each book I mentioned and the rating, obviously. So the first book I read, I will not talk a lot about it. I do have a physical copy of it, and it's If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. And this is a reread actually, so that's why I will not be talking a lot about it because I talked about this book like a million times, and I'm pretty sure people are like so done with me talking about this book. So yeah, it's one of my favorite books. It's a 5-star. It's Dark Academia, and I will recommend that like a lot. Next, I read The It Girl because I wanted something similar to If We Were Villains, and this is like a new release. And it's supposed to be like this story. It's like a dual point of view, and we are following this girl in the past when she goes for the first time to university, and something happened. Someone died, like the It Girl died, and we are in the future with her finding out what happened. And it was such like it had a good idea, but it was boring. I will admit, like the plot twist, it's a thriller, so yeah, it has a plot twist, was interesting enough. And it did surprise me. That's why I gave it 3 stars. But the rest of the book leading up to the reveal was boring. Like they didn't even like when I have an it girl, I want to hate love them. Like Blair Waldorf, Serena van der Woodsen. I wanna love hate them like Regina George, stuff like that. But no, and they gave us an unlikable character that was besides boring, and we didn't get to love her. I don't know, like the author didn't manage to make you hate love that character, and that's a big fail for me. Like even in headers, you kind of are interested in all of the headers because they're headers. Heather McNamara, hello, a mythic bitch. So yeah, it failed like big time. Then I read We Have Always Lived in the Castle. This is another book by Shirley Jackson, the author of The Haunting of the Old Field House. And I wanted to read another book by her because I didn't like a lot The Haunting of Hill House, and I wanted to see if I liked one more, and I'm sure I like this more. And every time I think more about it, I like it more, and that's a movie I want to watch. It has Sebastian Stan, of all people, and also Alexandra Daddario. What the fuck? But yeah, I gave the book like 3.7 stars, but I think it deserves a 4. I'm not sure, but I cannot stop thinking about it. And it's like very relatable, like the main character, how she keeps like, I don't know if this is a mental health thing, I think. For example, you cannot like, you think that if you don't touch this curtain like 3 times, something bad is going to happen, stuff like that. I think that's like anxiety or something like that. And we have Lord of the Flies. I gave it 3 stars again. I was in a reading classics mood, like always. Okay, but I wanted to read this book because I want to watch like the only season we have of The Society because it was canceled. and I started watching, and then I heard like it's based on Lord of the Flies, but I didn't like Lord of the Flies like a lot. Like it's only men, like boys, and they're so fucking dumb. Oh my god. So it was interesting, obviously, but it's so, I don't want to say boring. It's like ugh, I didn't like it. That's the thing. Then I interrupted everything I was doing and I read I'm Glad My Mom Died by Janet McCarthy. If you've been in the internet, you heard about this book. It's by this actress, or used to be actress, Janet McCarthy. You may know her from iCarly and Nickelodeon. So basically, she talks about a lot of things in the book, but mainly she talks about her mother, which it was like a narcissistic person, if I'm not wrong. I don't know. I don't think she was diagnosed, so I'm not assuming. But yeah, and she talks about abuse, like a lot of trigger warnings. Like there's a lot of shit going on in that, like that was going on in her life, like eating disorders. And I was convinced by on Carly. Like she did a video saying like, I read I'm Glad My Mom Died, so you don't have to, but you still should read it, something like that. And so yeah, I read it and I really enjoyed it. 5 stars. Like oh my god, I hope that Janet McCarthy like publishes more books, because she, oh my god, that was amazing, and it had me crying like a baby. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was my next book. Again, 3 stars, but it deserves maybe less because it was kind of boring. And I heard some people say like it undermines like Katniss's journey, but it does not, because oh my fucking god, Snow is boring. I don't care about Snow. I just hope the movie's better because I really liked Rachel. Rachel is? Yeah. Ziegler. So, and I'm hoping to hear her sing, obviously, as Lucy. So that's an interesting. Also, we have Viola Davis. I cannot wait to watch the movie. And I really like the Hunger Games, but it did not live up to the hype of the Hunger Games. And also, I wanted like a real, like it didn't give villain origin story. It didn't give corruption arc. It didn't give anything, because like you don't care about any of the characters, or at least I didn't. So, and I wasn't rooting for them, but it like I don't know, I didn't like it. Then I was running out of time and I was reading The Goldfinch, but I hadn't finished it. So, and I wasn't like not even 40% in, so I decided to read 2 plays by William Shakespeare in the same day, because I was still thinking about if we were villains. And if you don't know, like they mention Shakespeare a lot. And so I decided to read King Lear, which I gave 4 stars, and then I read Julius Caesar, 5 stars. And okay, if you don't know, well, basically, King Lear, it's like, oh my god, how do you explain that? Well, we're following this king, this old king, and basically he's like, how do you say that? Dividing his like his kingdom, something like that. Okay, so giving each of his daughters, he has 3 daughters, his kingdom, and like the 2 eldest daughters say like, yeah, well, he says like, you gotta say that you love me, you gotta show me or tell me how much you love me, and then I'll decide. And obviously the eldest daughters, which don't love him that much, by the way, are like, yeah, we love you a lot and stuff, like, yeah, dad, we love you. And the youngest, says something honest. She said something along the lines of like, I can only love you as much as I love you. She's like very cryptic, like, girl, just say it. But yeah, and so her dad end up giving everything to the 2 sisters and doesn't give anything to her. But like, it's a whole deal. But there are 2, like, they're bad and they don't want the dad, and they mistreat him, and there's a war, and the dad goes crazy, and it's so messy. And yeah, I really like that play, but I like Julius Caesar more because it's basically a group of friends plot together to kill Julius Caesar. And it's where we get the quote, et tu brute, brute, that's how you say it, right? Well, I love that quote, so yeah. And that's like the last thing Julius says. Is that a spoiler? If you don't know, baby, I'm sorry. But I really enjoy Julius Caesar, and it's like so gay. Like, you cannot fool me. That's gay as fuck. Like, Brutus? Brutus? Ha! Yeah, and it gives me very much vibes or of this quote that says like crowds shouldn't take like important decisions. Like there's need, like, people need a leader. One person, like a crowd cannot make decisions, and it happens like at one point, that many points, like the crowd are like, yeah, we don't want this, and then someone else says something and they change the opinion. It's like a whole fucking mess. But yeah, I really enjoyed Julius Caesar, and those are all the books I read. I also started reading The Goldfinch, but I didn't finish it until September. I finished it already. That's a great accomplishment. I will talk about it in my next wrap up, like, wait for it. So yeah, Donna Tartt, I'm looking at you. So I don't know what else to tell y'all. I didn't read a lot of books. I knew the video was going to be short. But I didn't have time, you guys. I had so many exams in a week, and I was like so stressed. I couldn't read. And I was so angry, like, I want to read. Like, August slipped away. But now I'm reading more. I already read like 2 books this month, so there's hope. And I'm going to talk about Babel. I'm reading Babel. Oh, this is everything I have for today's video. Thanks for watching. See ya.